All right, welcome to the Game of Inches podcast, NBA Finals edition. Tonight I have joining me Joe. We're finally getting a collab. Joe, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. Other than game one was a little hard to watch.
That was pretty difficult. It was kind of a Boston game from the first quarter, right?
Yeah, first quarter. I think they were up 17 by the end of the first quarter.
Yeah. That Kristaps Porzingis, right? I guess he had it out for the Mavs, didn't he?
I guess. He just came back. He wasn't even starting. He came off the bench. Ended up with 3 blocks. I didn't realize he was that tall. I knew he was tall, but I didn't really.
He's like 7'3", isn't he?
7'3", yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks every bit of that.
And Maxey couldn't get out there and guard him any, could he?
Who? Maxi Kleber?
Kleber. Yeah.
I think he tried, but when you're shooting from, what was it? It's like 30 feet. You let him take that shot.
Well, that's all Kleber does.
Oh, he stands on.
He should be used to being out there, right?
Doesn't jump and shoots
No,
a 3.
he doesn't jump. He doesn't jump.
Porzingis only had 20 points, but I think he had half of that in the first quarter.
So we're gonna give KP the NBA Finals MVP.
Already done.
Already in the bag.
No, I don't think so. If you look at the quarters 2 through 4 is only a 1-point game, and Kyrie was. I think he shot
12 points,
30%.
Yeah, he had 12 points.
Yeah,
like 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Like he was a non-factor.
He led the Mavs in assists. That should tell you some pretty poor shooting. And they only had 10 turnovers, Luka, so you can't count that either.
As a team, they had 10.
Only 10.
I didn't see that in the box score. Okay. Well, Luka, if he's going to take all the shots, and have a double with 30, but only have 1 assist, that's not going to work.
Yeah,
they're going to get blown out every game.
They didn't let him get the lobs in there. You could see he tried a couple of those. They just wouldn't let it happen.
Yeah.
I thought that Gafford would be a little bit better, like a little bit more offensive. He only had 8 points, but he didn't miss a shot.
No, he didn't do much, right? Like,
not really. He didn't play much. He only played like 14 minutes.
Yeah. And kind of when the game got out of hand, he wasn't in there.
No.
So, I think me and you, we weren't on a podcast doing this, but we talked earlier in the week about how I think a key in this series is corner threes.
Yeah.
And Luka led the entire league in passes to the corner. I want to think it was like 378, and he led the league in a wide margin, right? And
they only got PJ in the second half of the year.
Mm-hmm. But still, for the whole season, that was his thing. And I think, if I remember right, they were one of the top percentage shooting from the corner, and then Boston was one of the best defensive, in the corner.
Okay.
And there wasn't a lot of corner threes last night.
No.
They didn't even try. If Luka's not passing the ball around and trying to break down that defense a little bit.
He's slow, but I realize you didn't see some of the game, but they were definitely Luka still looks like he's laboring on that knee.
Yeah, and he was looking good and healthy in the last series.
Yeah, even with the injury, but I don't know if it's maybe just too amped up at the beginning because it's the finals. You look, he did score 30 points. It's almost 50% shooting, so it's not like it's terrible. Yeah, PJ put up some good effort. The whole first quarter, it was. You were only talking about 2 quarters, really, like 2.5 quarters that they were all playing at the same time. Jason Kidd pulled his starters before Joe Mazzulla pulled his starters.
Yeah, I know. I did see that. But I mean, they made it a game there. What, early fourth?
Early third. They were about halfway through, and they got to
Early
like
third.
8.
And then Boston did Boston things, right? What they've been doing all year.
Really, Jaylen Brown did Jaylen Brown things.
Yeah. Hey, he's their best player, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, people love
people
Jason
argue,
Tatum,
but
but I definitely think that Jaylen Brown's the guy on that team.
Yeah. Yeah, Jaylen Brown. They go as Jaylen Brown goes. He's just so unselfish, right? Like, he lets Tatum run the offense. He'd rather be the Pippen, and let Tatum be the Jordan. But I mean, he's a really good player. Like, if he was the number one option on a team, he'd average 30 a game because his ability to get to the rim, he hits. He don't shoot a lot of free throws, but he shoots free throws at a pretty high clip. But he can get to the rim. He can hit mid range. He's streaky as a 3-point shooter. But if he was a number one option, they would be.
Well, he did. He did take 11 free throws yesterday.
Yeah. So, but you don't usually see him getting to the free throw line that much, right? Like, he takes a step back for Tatum and lets Tatum do his thing.
Yeah.
But they're so much better when Brown's aggressive, and Brown kind of becomes the main guy, right? But he does so many different things. Yes, yes, that was nasty. Like, that's why didn't he do that? Why didn't he do that in the dunk contest, right? Like,
well, because you can't have defenders in the dunk contest.
Well, yes, you can. Everybody brings people out to jump over and stuff. Yeah, I know. But hey, stand here with your arm up.
Hey, pretend to block it.
Yeah, pretend to block. I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else tries, right?
Sure.
But yeah, he's to me, he's their best player, and I think now like I said, I missed some of the game. Who did they have on Kyrie? Was it more Drew?
It was more Drew, but they kind of switched it up.
Okay. Well, I mean, both those guys
are a lot of switching that was going on. I mean, you could see that the same thing that they were trying to do. Dallas was trying to do with Minnesota, where they were switching up who was covering him. They were doing the same thing. So, I mean, Drew Holiday had a pretty quiet game considering. I mean, he did have. I mean, he probably had the best all-around stats with no turnovers. I mean, he's definitely an X factor. I mean, to think that the Celtics were already good and then added a good defensive point guard who's unselfish, and then they add this 7'3" skinny giant who can score and can block shots. He's not a great defender, but
getting rid of Marcus Smart and getting Drew Holiday.
That's an upgrade.
That's an upgrade because right. Because I mean, as good as defensively and harassing people as Marcus Smart is, he's so inefficient offensively, and Holiday is efficient because he picks his spots. Like he fits in everywhere he goes. A lot of people are like, why did he make the Olympic team? Because he can fit in, didn't do anything, and he's so unselfish where he just worries about locking up his guy, playing team defense.
Right.
And then, if he has an open shot, he'll take it because, and he makes it. I mean, that's just so that's a good addition. And he makes it just a difference. Like, you don't want to pick him on DraftKings in your lineup because he's not going to put up a lot of points. But just as a player, man, I'd want him on my team. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, so who do you think for game 2?
Well, I think Kyrie's going to be more aggressive. I think he's going to come out and play better. I think Luka's going to be a little bit miffed, and he's going to come back with a little bit more, a little more. I mean, I know he was aggressive this game, but just a little more fire, maybe.
You think so?
I think they're going to be more focused. Because I think the things they kind of got away from them was just like they just were their fundamentals weren't down. Like they weren't paying attention to the details. They weren't really getting back defensively on some of the stuff I saw.
You think so? I think they'll be more. I mean, the Celtics have won 8 games in a row in the playoffs.
Boston's good.
Yeah, they're good.
Boston's good. I think Dallas will play more like they did against Minnesota. And
You won't say that they'll win, will you?
In Boston, man, I would have thought going into this they had to win game 1.
Oh, you think so?
And they didn't. Yeah, and I mean I think they can win at home, right? But I thought they to probably win the series. I thought they would have to win game 1 in Boston and make Boston be the chaser in the series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Boston's comfortable now. They're up 1-0. They won their first game.
Yeah.
They're still at home. And they made it look easy at times. So Dallas might be in trouble, unfortunately. Like Luka's going to have to score 50 or 60 or 73, right?
I don't think he's going to get 73 against that defense.
No.
But they both played really good defense. If you think the fact that first quarter the Celtics scored 37 points and they only scored 107 total in the game, which was under their over-under.
Wait, how many? How many in the first?
37.
Okay.
And then only, what is that? 72?
60, 72?
No, not less.
Yeah.
No, 70.
62.
70 total.
Yeah. Well, you said 107, right? Yeah, 70. Okay.
So 70 total. That's 23 a quarter?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not great offensive. Mm-hmm. They definitely didn't play as well. I mean, I was looking at the shooting percentage. I expected them to be closer to 50%. I think they were 40 something. I mean, 48. I guess that's pretty close. But to me, I think Dallas comes out and punches them in the mouth. I don't think they're
going to have to.
I don't think they had enough. Kyrie, he didn't make a 3 at all. I think that some of it was harassment on the defense. I think he got blocked 2 or 3 times, at least once by both KP and Jaylen Brown. But I think that Kyrie is going to turn it on. I don't think that they're going to be able to ride Kristaps Porzingis the same way because he had the high energy coming into the game. I mean, he'll start the game probably, but he looked winded after that first quarter, and so I think Dallas wins by at least 7 points.
Wow, do you know what the spread is?
I don't, but I bet you it's like 3.5 at least.
Well, wasn't it 6.5 for game 1?
It was 6.5. Boston is favored by 7.5, and they think the over is 214.
That's what it is. That's what it is at Friday night at
Yep.
At what time is it? Friday night at 9:30.
Friday night at 9:30. 7.5 points for Boston
for Sunday's game. I think that changes.
Yeah,
I bet that goes to like 9 by Sunday.
You think it goes that big? You think that people have already given up on Dallas?
Man, I don't know. Everybody loves some Luka though, right? But he had a good game.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess they're the underdog. They're the 5 seed in the West. So
they are the 5 seed in the West, and we forget that, right? Because they played like the 1 seed in the West for 3 months,
right? Well, since they made that acquisition and midway through the season, getting PJ Washington and
yeah. That changed their whole dynamic, Yeah. But Boston is 77-20.
That's pretty good.
77-20. That's not bad at all, right? Like 64 and 64 and 18 for the regular season, and they've only lost twice in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they swept.
It's going to be 3
Pacers.
It's going to be 3 Sunday night.
It'll be 3 what?
3 losses. 3 losses in the playoffs.
Oh, because Dallas is going to win by 7.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, man, I hope Dallas wins, but I I think it goes back to Dallas, and I think it's 2-0 Boston.
2-0 Boston. Okay.
I think
That's
it goes
where it
back to
looks
Dallas
like the
2-0
money
Boston.
is. And they are
I
playing at home. But
well, I didn't say what it's going to be going back to Boston the next time though. You know what I mean?
Oh, a sweep. Calling a sweep.
No. When it goes back to Boston, can we go ahead and tell you?
Oh, it is going to go back to Boston.
Yes, go back to Boston. You want me to tell you what it's going to be going back to Boston?
Sure. What is it going to be going back to Boston?
3-2 Mavs.
3-2 Mavs. Okay.
3-2 Mavs. I think.
Is it three?
I'm
Is it
not
three
trying to-
games in a row in Dallas?
Yeah, they still do that, right?
I know that they changed it. I wasn't sure if they changed it back yet. But either way, you
Let
think
me
it'll
check.
be 3-2 Mavs?
Yeah, let me. I think so. Let me check that first.
Okay.
But that's my
Well,
think.
that's okay. If they have 3 games at home, I think that makes
Yeah.
sense. All right, so I can look real fast. Yep, Wednesday, of course, the Friday. Nope, it looks like they go back to Boston for game 5.
Okay. Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So
next
I'm saying they go
Monday.
back to Boston. It's
Jeez.
2-2. 2-2.
Yeah, next Monday.
2-2.
That's a long. There's
Yeah.
so many games days off.
They stretch it out so far, don't they?
Yeah, it's like 3 days between most of the games.
Well, I mean,
I realize.
Boston to Dallas.
Yeah, Boston, Dallas,
First
and then
class,
you
you know,
have
that's tough.
Yeah, and then you have the Stanley Cup Finals at the same time. Yeah. So
Hey, I can't believe the Stars got beat.
well,
That hadn't started yet,
Dallas
has
can't
it?
win everything, just like the Cowboys.
Hey, man, the Cowboys haven't won nothing in a long time.
They've won lots of regular season games. Didn't they win the division?
They've won a lot of divisions, but they just can't do nothing else.
All right. Well, 2-2. 2-2 is what you
They
think,
need to-
huh?
Well, yeah, I do. I think it's going to be going into Game 5 in Boston. It's 2-2.
We
I forgot.
we
I
could
was thinking.
both
I
be
was thinking
right.
it was. Yeah, we could. Now I hope Dallas wins Sunday night.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take a Herculean effort from Kyrie and Luka though. Like both of them have to show up. It's going to be kind of like I'm already to the point where it's going to be like have to be like LeBron and Kyrie when they were down 3-1 against the Golden State.
Luka's not going to play the
Like-
same defense with the chase down blocks, but from an
No.
offensive side, they definitely could both do that.
No, they both got to probably put up 40. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think they could both put up 40 against that Boston defense.
But if you get like 20 from PJ Washington or any of the
Yes,
other role players,
Now he needs to hit like 3 to 4 threes. Like he needs to get to his three. He needs to get those corner threes going.
Mhm.
The Mavs need to kind of get back to playing the defense they were playing against Minnesota. I know it's a little bit harder to play that defense against Boston because you have
everybody
two
can shoot a
two
three.
really good. Yeah, everybody can shoot a three, and you have 2 or 3 guys who can score.
Mhm.
Multiple ways. You don't just have Edwards and on the wings. You have Tatum
Right.
and Brown. So they have to get back to their sound defense. And do you? I mean, they didn't. To you, did it look like the lights were too big?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, because Luka did play good. He set a record for what best debut in the finals or match to debut.
Yeah,
But
I don't think
He just wasn't very efficient.
Yeah, but it's not like he had a ton of turnovers. I think that some of
No,
it is
no.
just defense. There wasn't anybody else hitting shots. PJ had to become aggressive in order to get his 12, 14 points. I think the next highest scorer was Hardy, and that's because he ball hogged in garbage time. I think that's right.
He's gonna be a good player.
He
though.
is going to be a good player. I don't.
and they've given him a lot more minutes than I thought.
Yeah.
Like even for playoffs, right? I didn't think he was getting that many minutes in the regular season, but like I've noticed in the playoffs, he gets 15 to 20
Yeah.
like every game. I know some of his garbage time, but I mean, I think he's gonna be really good. He was one of those G League guys, right?
Mm-hmm. And he won.
Yeah.
I think he was up for MVP if he wasn't the MVP of the summer league. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't catch much summer league last year. Most years I watch it, but last year I didn't get into it that much. But hey,
wasn't
hey,
anybody
real
from
quick,
Texas.
well,
Maybe.
no, we haven't
Yeah.
we haven't had any really good basketball players from Texas lately. Like,
Well,
I don't know what they're doing down there.
that's all right. You've got the Mavs. The Mavs are doing good.
Yes.
So
Mavs are doing good.
Yep.
The Rockets are gonna be good, and I don't mind rooting for the Rockets when they're good. I
Yep.
like the Hakeem Rockets,
I mean, who
the
didn't?
Kenny Smith Rockets.
Kenny Smith. Yeah,
Hey, Kenny Smith was pretty good.
he's good enough.
Him and
He
Vern
fit-
Maxwell.
fit
Him and
his
Vern
role.
Maxwell.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
ma-
Hey, real quick though,
Yeah.
since I'm a UConn Husky fan, what do you think about the Lakers trying to get Dan Hurley?
I mean, that might be the worst thing that can happen to Dan Hurley, other than he's going to get paid. But
I agree because
I-
if LeBron's not happy, they can just fire him, and if he's not successful in a year, they can just fire him.
maybe they're hoping that LeBron is only there for one more year, or hoping that LeBron signs somewhere else, and they're actually going to look to rebuild. But I've also heard rumor about them trading Anthony Davis for some people.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I heard they were going to try to bring in all the Clippers that were from LA, like Harden and Westbrook, and not Westbrook
Yeah,
because
'cause
they've
that
already
didn't
tried
work.
that. But Harden and Paul George and Kawhi, but Kawhi just signed a massive extension.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess he'll be a Clipper for a while. But I heard that I was like, I don't know how they're going to get all those guys, but
They just switch the
I don't know.
locker room and like change the
no,
the team
the
name.
Clippers have their own. The Clippers have their own stadium now, though.
No.
Yeah.
Where do they play? In Sacramento?
Didn't they? That's the Kings.
I
No, didn't
know.
they just get them? Didn't they just get them a new stadium?
I don't think so. I gotta look this up.
Yeah, I was thinking they got a new place now, like their own place, or it's coming or something.
I mean,
That's what I was trying to.
the football teams don't even have their own arenas yet.
Yeah, they're in different places. They don't play in the same one, do they?
I mean, Crypto.com Arena, isn't that? Yeah, the team
Yeah,
is
that's what-
Los
that's what-
Angeles Lakers. That's what Staples
So-
is named. It's funny
Yeah.
we
So
call
is
it
that where the
Staples.
Clippers?
but it's
Is that where the
Crypto.com.
Clippers? It's still Staples to me, right? Is it that's where the Clippers play still
Yeah,
too?
that's where it says. Yeah.
Okay, I thought they got
They
their
will
own
have
stadium. I don't know.
the Intuit Dome.
Yes. So they're not in that yet, right?
No, I don't think it is under construction. It's supposed to be open. It's supposed to be open this next year,
Okay.
and it will
Yeah,
be
so
the,
they gotta
the
keep-
basketball venue during the 2028 Olympics.
Okay.
That means that
Oh, nice,
LA is going to
nice,
host the
nice.
Olympics twice in
Yeah,
our
yeah.
lifetimes, and we're not even that old.
What 84?
Yeah, 84. Yeah, we don't
84.
remember. We weren't that old.
No, I don't remember. Like honestly, the first one I remember is like, well, I remember the '92 Dream Team, right? But I don't really remember the Olympics.
Yeah. Oh, I remember
I just kinda remember
Seoul.
that.
I don't remember what I remembered about Seoul, but I remember watching it.
Well, I remember some like Winter Olympics before '96, but like '96 was kind of the one that I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Like, because the
Yeah.
gymnastics was really good that year. I remember going to church, like Vacation Bible School, and we're talking about, hey, did you watch the gymnastics last night? And then, but I mean, the Michael Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
was doing his thing in '96.
Terry
Because that was
Stroud
Atlanta.
broke her leg.
Yes, because I said
Still
the gymnastics was really good.
Yeah.
And then Michael Johnson, and then after that, man, I was hooked on the Olympics, right? I remember 2000 was kind of disappointing because it was all the way in Sydney, and you couldn't really watch it. Like, it was like, oh, here's what happened today. And you're like, what?
Yeah, here's what happened
You know?
already. If you'd like to watch the replay,
Yeah. So, and like, I love the swimming because, we had Michael Phelps dominate for so long, and that was always fun.
Yeah.
And you had Ryan Ludke.
I don't know.
He at least made everything.
Yeah.
He made everything. The guy that went out and like vandalized.
Oh, barely. I mean, I'm trying to not.
That was
to remember those people.
2012 or it was in Rio, I think, right?
Okay.
That was 16, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
So, yeah, he went somewhere he wasn't supposed to be and vandalized it or something. But anyway, that made it interesting. You know, it was a hot topic. So there's always something, you know. And then Usain Bolt, and that's this summer. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was just curious about, you know, Dan Hurley. I hope he stays at UConn.
Yeah.
I don't. He
seems like a coach that's made for the college game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could be the next Coach K, right? But and we'll see. I mean, I just thought that popped up game one of the finals, right? LeBron wasn't in it, so they had to make some kind of noise.
Always do.
They had to get some attention, you know. Mm-hmm. Like A-Rod going free agency in the middle of the World Series. Hey.
Yep. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Yeah.
Prima donnas, I'll tell you.
All these things happen. So.
They do. All right, so game 2, Sunday night.
So you want to do this again on Monday? That'll be good.
When's game 3? Is it Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, we sure can. So your prediction for the score is Boston by...
Is Dallas.
No, you said Dallas by 7, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say Boston by 9. I'm gonna say 110-101.
Okay, I'm not gonna say the final score because I think it's no matter what, it's still 7.
Yeah. No, that's just kind of what popped in my head.
Sure.
I think it's gonna be more competitive, closer. I think Dallas will get out to a quick start. But I don't know, that Boston defense will just wear them down. I think fourth quarter, Boston will, you know, make some key defensive plays and kind of spread the score out a little bit.
Okay.
110-101 Boston.
110-101 is what you think. Okay. I just say by 7.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
That sounds good, man.
All right.
Well, guys, I appreciate y'all joining us tonight, and y'all hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, Eric, thanks for having me, man.
All right. Talk to you later, Joe.
Okay.
You have a good one.
You too.